What's up, everyone? Good to see you again. It's Mike from Nature's Neighbor, coming at you with another life update. And yeah, as you can see, it's a rainy afternoon up here in the mountains of Kyoto. It's the rainy season. Tsuyu is what it's called in Japanese. And not only is it rainy, but it's extremely muggy and humid and sticky. It's not my favorite part of the year, but it makes for a kind of cool video atmosphere, I suppose. But yeah, it kind of brings back memories of last year's rainy season, when I didn't have a driver's license. I wasn't able to drive, so I was riding my bike to train stations and bus stations and commuting to work that way. And I just remember being soaked head to toe 30 seconds after leaving my apartment, and yeah, not my favorite time, but it's kind of funny to look back on now with the privilege of being able to drive. Yeah, there was a stressful time about a year ago when I was studying to take the driver's exam. There's always something, every year, some obstacle or struggle, but looking back now, it wasn't that big of a deal. Could have been a lot worse. But yeah, as far as things that I've got going now, concerning my life in Japan, my Zairyu card, which means like reason for being here. Zai is the same as the Zai in the Chinese alphabet, Chinese character. It's the same thing. It means to exist in a place. And Ryu, I think, means reason. So reason for being here. Card. Basically, it's my permanent residency card, my residency card. I'm going to be renewing that this Friday. So I took work off, and I'm going to be going into the office in Kyoto, handing in all my paperwork, which I've meticulously compiled over the past 3 weeks, which I hope has no issue with it. I made sure to cross every T, dot every I, and triple check, because it's what you got to do, especially in Japan, especially when you're living in a foreign country of, anywhere really. This is a super important matter, renewing my residency card. And hopefully, if all goes well, I'll be getting a new card with an additional 3 years. I had to get a letter from my work telling, stating that they intend to rehire me and keep me on as a teacher. And so, yeah, that's going to be happening on Friday. And hopefully by the next life update video, I'll be telling you guys that I got a new Zairyu card, and that, will make me feel a lot more secure in living here, of course, because my current card expires in 3 months, and 3 months in advance you can apply for the replacement card. So I'm going in like the first day that I can. And yeah, I don't know. Besides that, I'm going to be searching for an Akiya house in kind of this general area with my partner. We're going to be going to a town called Hiyoshi to talk to some people, real estate people that can maybe help us look around. Because I still have aspirations, my partner and I have aspirations to do a kind of guest house tour business. So that's in the works as well. I'm also going to Hong Kong to meet my friend Fino, which I think I mentioned before, but I don't think I mentioned the reason why I'm going there. The reason is that Fino and I are working on writing a script for a musical, if you can believe that. A little background information on me. Kind of the way in for me, the way I got into like loving music was through musical theater, kind of. I mean, I was always in choir from age 12 on, and I was taking professional voice lessons from age 12 until age 18. I was always in the school choir. And of course, being in choir, you got a bunch of friends that participate in musical theater. So I joined in musical theater starting in fourth grade, and I did it every single year until I graduated from high school. So yeah, I was totally the theater kid, if you haven't already detected that energy from me before. Shouldn't come as a surprise. I've always had a love of musical theater and of, that medium as an art form. And basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking, it's kind of like the ultimate project. I'm going to be taking, right now we have about 30 songs from the Nature's Neighbor canon, handpicked and ordered in a kind of storyline. And Pino and I are making a plot line from stitching these songs together, and we're going to be trying to make, the Nature's Neighbor musical. We're going to be working on writing a script. So I'm going to visit her in Hong Kong. We're going to stay in the condo that she lives in, that she stays in when she's in Hong Kong. And we're going to be kind of just homebodies, sitting at home with pencils and paper, notebooks everywhere, and drinking tea and eating snacks, and just kind of working on fleshing out the script of this musical, which is going to be kind of a story, kind of a love story. It's going to be a cross-cultural story as well, cross-cultural between China and America. And that's a project that is going to be, I mean, who knows if it'll ever be brought to fruition, but I would love for it to be realized fully someday. Be it in the form of a stage musical for the stage, or maybe an independent film, musical film. We've even tossed around ideas of it being a, anime musical. But yeah, the idea is to use Nature's Neighbor songs. And for those of you that are fans of Nature's Neighbor and are familiar with the catalog of music, our discography, then you should, recognize most of the songs in this musical. It comprises songs from our earliest works up until our most recent album. So that's cool. Speaking of our most recent album, the new album Projection is finally out. I didn't really make a big deal out of it. The day that it came out, I took a 3-day weekend trip to Yuge Island to chill with my friend Nagi and my friends over there, my friend Sam. Just to kind of get away from it all and clear my mind and not trip out about the release. But we did get a decent review on a website called Rosie Overdrive that did an in-depth review of the album. Some of you have mentioned that you've listened to the album, which is really great. Makes me really happy that you've been enjoying it. But it feels good for it to finally be out. And it's out, available on vinyl. Working on a CD version as well through a Japanese pressing company, which prints way better, way more high-quality CD packages than the American companies I used to work with, like CD Baby and Oasis CD Manufacturing. So that's in the works. But finally the album's out, and it just feels good to have it out and done, and I don't got to think about it anymore. Another project that I'm working on is I have a bunch of acoustic demos. I have acoustic demos for all of the tracks from the new album Projection and a few extra tracks that didn't make the final cut. And I'm going to be having my buddy Seth master those to tape players, like cassette players and reel-to-reel tape machine, and then bouncing that onto digital and mastering those acoustic demos from tape. And so that's going to be cool. Eventually going to release those demos. And then another project that I've got is, as I mentioned, with Projection kind of being the last full-length Nature's Neighbor album of new material. What I mean by that is those are the most recent songs I've written. And I do plan to release new Nature's Neighbor, EPs and maybe even an album, but it's not going to be of new songs newer than Projection. What I want to do is I want to remake the entire You, Me, and the People album, which was my band before Nature's Neighbor. We put out an EP in 2021, which was the 10-year anniversary of the 2011 release of the debut album from You, Me, and the People, the self-titled debut. It's got 11 songs and then an extra 12th song as a little B-side. And at first I thought we'd just remake 3 of those songs and release a little 3-song EP on the 10-year anniversary, which we did do, which I love. I did with my friend Terrell Mast, who's the keyboardist in the band. But I've kind of talked to them a little bit more, and another guy, Daniel, who was in the first iteration of You, Me, and the People way back in 2010 and 2011. And we talked about why not remake the entire album and release it in consecutive 3-song EPs until the full 12-song album is finished. It's an album I really love. I have a very strong emotional connection to it. I think it's the first really good album I ever released, but the mixing and mastering was a total shit show. It didn't work out the way I wanted. I lost a lot of the original files, so a way for me to create new music without needing to write new songs specifically is to, yeah, work on this You, Me, and the People project and take these, 12, 13 plus year old songs and rework them and make brand new versions of them with the original members with whom I made the original album. And so I'm working on that. There's a kind of more, the album's very eclectic. So there's electronic songs, instrumental songs, ambient songs, rock songs, acoustic songs, indie songs. It's a very all over the place, scatterbrain kind of album. And so I'm splitting it up into little bite-sized EPs of 3 songs that can kind of have a kind of cohesion to them. So there's a kind of more electronic one, which I'm working on with Terrell. And then there's a more kind of guitar-based one, which I'm working on with my friend Daniel. So although I'm not writing new songs, I can still record new music. And that's really exciting for me. And yeah, I guess that's all in terms of like projects I'm working on now. The Nature's Neighbor musical, the remake of the You, Me, and the People album. And I don't know, maybe, if that album is the last ever album release I ever put out, it would just be a very, very cool full circle moment for me and the other guys. So we're gonna be doing that. Yeah, and I hope to keep you guys updated on these things as they, develop. Both of these things are gonna be a very long-term project. They're gonna be, developing very slowly over time. It's gonna take definitely years for the Nature's Neighbor musical to even become a thing, if it even does. Even if it doesn't get filmed or animated, I would at least like to complete a script. Because that would just be cool even to just have the script ready for maybe one day it can be realized. But yeah, kind of big things in the works. And of course, I'm gonna be continuing this YouTube channel, making videos whenever I can. I've kind of got my, my mojo back, and I'm excited to make new videos, got tons of ideas. The Calm Before the Storm video was really fun to make in Yuge Island with the kind of misty, rainy mountain backdrop. And since it is the rainy season, I thought I'd do 2 more rainy videos after this, so we can have kind of like a set of 4 rainy Japan videos. But I don't know, we'll see. But whatever happens, I'll keep you guys updated, as always. I'm really enjoying connecting with you guys in this way. This video, I'm not really going around showing you places. I'm just gonna stand here in this gazebo because I don't want to get soaking wet. But I'm sure in future life update videos, I'll take you guys around to a few cool places I've discovered. Also, one other thing I'm excited about is my friend Shintaro is back from his year-plus adventures abroad in Malaysia and Vietnam and Thailand. He's the violinist that played with me. He played on the album Projection. He's back in Japan, and we plan to do music together. So plan on seeing him in some future videos as well. I'm psyched to work with him and do more music with him. I love playing acoustic guitar and singing with him accompanying me on violin. I think it's just so much fun. And so that is another extra little tidbit for you to keep in mind. So Shintaro will be making his triumphant return into Nature's Neighbor this year. So lots of things to look forward to. Anyway, thanks again for sticking with me, and we will see you guys next time.